Well, I guess we will soon see more people using Godot in the very near future. Thanks, Unity. So hey guys, my name is Voilin from Voilin's Game Dev Journey, and for the people who are not up to date with what's happening in Unity land, well, take a look at this. Basically, the main point of anger from the Unity community right now is that developers will be charged for installs. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that I'm a Godot developer, so I don't have to deal with all those financial fees for every little thing. Also, the financial side of things was why I went with Godot for my video editor that I'm making, and I'm glad that I'm using Godot instead of Unity, especially because it's supposed to be a free and open source project, so yeah, I don't have to pay for people installing my application. What kind of a thing is that? How do they come up with those kind of things? Like, honestly, my mind is breaking. Like, you really need to be a special kind of stupid to come up with that kind of an idea. A little bit about my history, because a couple of years ago I was mainly using Unity. I liked it, especially for the UI part of things, because I've mainly been making programs and not really games necessarily. So yeah, I was using Unity before, and mainly because of the whole financial stuff and like having to pay to use the editor made me kind of like, like donations, yes. Having to actually like pay to use it, yeah, I'd rather not. So I started looking and I found Godot. I basically switched to Godot and never looked back, and I'm glad that I never went back, especially with the current situation that's happening now. However, many people, especially indie developers, have been and are using Unity. The reason why I say have is because these price changes will also be applicable to games launched previously, which were made with Unity. This is a really problematic thing for smaller indie devs, which are already kind of struggling and need to sell their games at quite a low price to even like have a chance of earning something from their games. They need to be paid for their work as well, and taking 20 cents from every download is just ridiculous in my opinion and causes kind of a lot of issues. Let's stand in Unity's shoes. My guess of what Unity is trying to achieve here is, one, maybe they're planning their endgame and this is like their way of keep getting a revenue even though they don't do anything about the engine anymore. So it's kind of like an everlasting revenue source. Second reason why they may have done this is because they wanted some free advertisement by making people talk about them, because you know what they say, bad publicity is still publicity. And third one that I mainly think is the reason, they want to make their name better by trying to get rid of smaller indie developers and only want to focus on the big boys, the big studios which are making high quality games. So Unity will be less used for low quality games and people will start removing their games from all kinds of platforms because they don't want to pay every time when somebody installs their game. I think that one may be the most likely one of them, because Unity has been kind of known and being popular for making low quality simulators and other games. So, well, not Unity themselves, but developers. So maybe they're just trying to purify their name by scaring away future smaller studios or indie devs and trying to make people who made games with Unity before, like if they don't earn enough, that they just remove their games, so all the quote-unquote bad games will not be associated with Unity anymore. But the list of possible problems that this may give, like, I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know how many times they can shoot themselves in the foot, but I think this time they used a shotgun. Because the list of possible problems that this may cause is quite massive. Basically, indie games will struggle a lot more when using Unity for making their game. People who have made games with Unity before will start struggling a lot more as well. But the main problem so far is when you really hate a developer, game studio, or they made an update to their game and you don't really like it, you don't even vote with your comments anymore, the reviews, like instead of giving them bad reviews, just delete, install, uninstall, delete, uninstall, install. Just uninstall the game and install it a couple of times on different PCs or on your own, like on your main PC, and you will basically financially ruin them. Do that for a day and you basically wiped away a studio or an indie developer. I would not recommend doing that. That was just to give an possible problem for this whole situation. Like, Unity may say that they will handle those kind of things, that those things may not happen, but they have shown time on time again that they really like money, so I don't even see them actually trying hard enough to avoid this kind of thing from happening. And some games are even available for free. So what? Developers who made a game for free with Unity will have to start paying Unity to be able to offer that game for free? Like, what kind of a thing is that? Also, who has to say that the data Unity has on installs will actually be correct? Well, it honestly will not be the first time that a giant company lies about its numbers to financially gain profit from it. And also, I can come up with so many more reasons why this is a bad idea. And, like, yeah, I don't know. There's honestly not that much more that I can add. Like, a lot of YouTube channels are making a video about this right now, and they're discussing this as well. This is just my opinion. I just wanted to quickly make this opinion because I find it quite ridiculous, and I want to welcome all Unity developers to Godot. I feel like this is just a giant push from Unity to increase their income, whilst also making sure that lower budget studios cannot and will not be using Unity anymore. So that games published under the Unity name will be of higher value, higher quality. That's really debatable, so don't quote me on that. There are a lot of free games that I personally like a lot, which do have quite a high value. This is just all my opinion. Do with it whatever you want, and I'm very glad that I stepped away from Unity quite early on and that I've been using Godot now, because Godot has its issues, so does any game engine. But it's working fine, I don't have any problems, and I don't have to worry about, in the future, having to pay kind of a lot of money because people downloaded my open source and free applications. So yeah, that was my take on this. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye bye, and please stop using Unity, it's for your own sake.